Hello there, welcome to the AS Maths Pure June 2023 paper. Here we're looking at question 7. So the distance of a particular car can travel in a journey starting with a full tank of fuel was investigated. From a full tank of fuel, 40 litres remained in the car's fuel tank after the car had travelled 80 kilometres. From a full tank of fuel, 25 litres remained in the car's fuel tank after the car had travelled 200 kilometres. Using a linear model with V litres being the volume of fuel remaining in the car's fuel tank and d kilometers being the distance the car had travelled, finds an equation linking v and d. Okay, so our equation is going to look like this. V equals something times d add something else. So it's a linear model, so that means there's just going to be a multiple of d add a constant. Let's now substitute in some values for V and D. So which one is V, which one is D? V refers to the litres of fuel remaining in the fuel tank. So this is a value of V and this is a value of V. And D is the distance the car had travelled. So this is a value of D and this is a value of D. So let's create two simultaneous equations and solve them. So 40 equals the d here is the value of 80, so 80a add b. And let's do the same thing with the other equation. So in this one we have 25 is the value of v equals 80. So no, not 80. It's 200 this time. 200a plus b. Okay, you can get your calculators out now and solve these as simultaneous equations, and you get a is minus 1 over 8. And b is 50. So therefore the equation is going to be a equals minus 1 over 8 d add 50. So my guess is that when the fuel tank is full, it will have 50 litres in it. Okay, let's move on to part B then. Given that on a particular journey, the fuel tank of the car was initially full and the car continued until it ran out of fuel. B, according to the model, find the initial volume of fuel that was in the fuel tank at the start. So let's remind ourselves of what the equation was. So for part I, we need to work out the amount of fuel when D equals 0. So that is 50, so 50 litres. 50 litres is what's is the amount of fuel in the tank when full. The distance the car travelled on the day, so if we want it to travel until it ran out of fuel, then we're going to take the same equation and substitute in V equals 0 because we want the volume to be 0. Okay, let's solve this now. So move the 1 over 8d onto the side and multiply by 8, and we get a distance of 400 miles. Or kilometres, I can't remember what the question was. Kilometres, it's kilometres. Excellent. Okay, final question. In fact, the car travelled 320 kilometres on this journey. Evaluate the model in light of this information. Well, 400 compared to 320 is a pretty poor model. So I would say poor model. It is not accurate. It is not an accurate model. Okay, so there we are. That's the answer for question 7 here, worth 8 marks. Let's now move on to question 8.